A Place Further Than the Universe is easily my favorite show of the past season, an opinion that's far from being rare within the anime community, but I feel the need to make a video about it despite the level of saturation in that department, because it's a series that deserves to be seen and understood. My problem, however, was what kind of video I should make. I could talk about the insanely high production value of the animation and the genius cinematography on display, but that would just devolve into another cinematic analysis that would feel far too dry for a show with this much emotional force. I could talk about the drive that these characters have to accomplish something crazy in their lives and how their journey towards doing the impossible is so inspiring and uplifting, but that's a video that anyone could make and already has been made. Not to discredit these videos, they're all pretty great, but for a show like this, I needed something that I felt only I could write about, something that's intensely personal to my own experience with the show. And then episode 3 happened, and with the introduction of Yuzuki, I immediately knew that this video had to be about her, because this is a character that I can identify with to an almost uncomfortable degree. As for why that is, we'll get to a bit later, but first we need a bit of setup. As a popular child actress, Yuzuki spent most of her youth being rushed from job to job. As a result, she had very little time to socialize with her classmates and make friends with those around her. And as she grew older, she became more and more discontent with this way of living. But she still did her best to make friends despite this. Unfortunately, her situation continued to play out as it always had, and she failed to make strong connections with those that she wanted to become friends with. Honestly, I was kind of taken aback at such a realistic portrayal of loneliness. Not through petty arguments or fantastical interference, but simply through pure, ordinary circumstance. This is someone who genuinely doesn't understand how friendship works because she's never had the chance to experience it. She only understands it as a concept. So when we get this scene where she claims that the other 3 girls are all best friends and don't know what it's been like for her, but they respond by saying that they've only known each other for about a month and aren't exactly close friends yet, it really hits home just how clueless she is about this whole friendship thing. And perhaps how clueless or presumptuous we've become due to how this kind of character grouping is typically presented. 3 cute anime girls are interacting with each other in a positive manner for an extended period of time? Of course they're friends. Or maybe not. And the subtlety of this idea by not having them make a big deal about it makes it all the more powerful. I know the whole friendship thing has been beaten to death and back again in anime, so it can be a bit hard to actually take it seriously sometimes, but this is easily one of the best examples of it that I've ever seen. It's almost like one of those things where you can't really appreciate something until you notice its absence. Then, to see the other girls show up at Yuzuki's door the next day just because they want to get to know her more, something that she's never experienced and takes her totally by surprise, was truly heartwarming. And again, it's treated like this is totally normal. This is how people are supposed to act towards someone that they want to get to know better. But Yuzuki's arc doesn't just end there either. In episode 10, Kimari casually states that over the course of their adventures together, they had all become best friends, which again takes Yuzuki completely by surprise since this concept had never been stated outright before, again playing against our expectations. The whole power of friendship thing in anime is so often shoved in our face and drummed up as this hugely pivotal moment in character relationships, but that's not how it usually happens in real life. People spend time with each other, enjoy being around each other, and all of a sudden, they're friends. There's no switch you flip in your head where you decide, we shall be friends now. Of course, being unskilled with this concept as usual, Yuzuki doesn't really understand this idea, so she draws up this weird friendship contract thing so that they don't stop being friends when they go their separate ways after the expedition, and of course everyone immediately states that it's a fucking stupid idea, since contracts like that don't really mean anything once everyone's on their own again. Friendship isn't based on words or contracts or anything like that, it's based on feelings. You just kinda know. And the birthday cake scene at the end reaffirms this not just because of the old actions speak louder than words proverb, but because it was planned before Yuzuki even brought up the contract. It wasn't some reactionary idea to teach Yuzuki a lesson. This was something that the other girls had planned to do already because they intuitively understood that they were all friends now. 4 cute anime girls are interacting with each other in a positive manner for an extended period of time? Of course they're friends. Not because one of them said, "We're friends now," or because there was a crucial story event that drastically altered their lives, or because that's what the trope dictates, but because they feel that they all like spending time with each other. Therefore, they are friends. And to be honest, it was kind of a revelationary moment for me because of experiences in my own life. I'm not exactly the most social person. Shocking, I know, an anime fan that's not good at socializing, but it really is the truth. I know I had friends when I was younger, but somehow most of them just sort of drifted away and we eventually just stopped talking until I basically had no one. And when I did make friends, very few of them lasted for more than a year or so because I was just bad at maintaining relationships, I guess. And I just didn't understand how to make it work. And as I got older, it got even worse. Starting around halfway through high school, I had even more difficulties making good friends or even figuring out who my friends were. My golden birthday was only attended by my family and one friend that I've known for longer than I can remember. High school was not exactly the best years of my life, and I was afraid that this trend would continue into college when the first group of people I tried to become friends with there left me, let's say, emotionally burned. But via the endeavors of me being a horny young adult hopelessly yearning after my crush at the time, I managed to come upon a group of people that, for the first time in a while, I could legitimately call my friends. Not just acquaintances or classmates or some kind of worthless Facebook categorization, real, actual friends. And much like Yuzuki and the rest of the girls, I'm not exactly sure when they went through that transition from people I know to acquaintances to close friends. And knowing that I hadn't totally lost the ability to connect with other people, I've even managed to gain more friends outside of that group that have lasted longer than I thought possible. These people made my college experience some of the best years of my life, something that I would never trade away even if it meant escaping the avalanche of student loan debt. The downside to this, though, is that we're not in college anymore. We're all adults now with real-life responsibilities. And because they work weekdays and I work weekends, because I constantly keep myself busy with YouTube stuff, and because we don't exactly live close to each other, it's getting harder and harder for me to even see them outside of our chat group. And it's actually really disheartening for me. To be so busy that I can't even make time for the people I care about the most is, well, sad. And seeing Yuzuki grow so distant from the few people that she tried to make friends with, ultimately resulting in them cutting ties with her, and then desperately do everything she can to hold on to the first group of real friends that she makes, even if it's in one of the most cringe-inducing manners possible, was, to put it lightly, extremely emotional for me, and is a fear that I deal with on a daily basis. This looming anxiety that someday I'll be alone again. Honestly, I don't even know where I'm going with this point anymore, and I'm kind of losing my composure a bit just writing about it, but seeing Yuzuki struggling with something that I probably didn't even fully understand myself until recently left a huge impact on me, and it's something that I'm never going to forget. Friendship isn't about how many birthdays you celebrate, or how often you get to hang out on the weekends, or even how close you live to each other. It's about that intangible feeling that links you to each other in mind and soul. It's about knowing that no matter how far you go, true friends will always be there for you, because that's what they do. And so this video is dedicated to all my friends. Whether I've known you my whole life or I've never even seen your face, thank you for being there for me. And I really hope that I've been there for you. thank you all so much for watching. I've been struggling to figure out how exactly I should structure this video and how it should play out, so hopefully you like the conclusion I came to. And if you enjoyed this video and want to see more, be sure to like and subscribe so you can stay up to date on all my latest content. Special thanks to Jan Rogalski, Rourke Tenjoin, Kushina Minami, and all my other patrons for their generous support. My name is Ember, and I'll see you next time.